Now, for these thoughts of the day, we've taken inspiration from all kinds of places. We've had fun thoughts, we've had cartoons, we've had serious thoughts, lots of them from the Word of God, from great Christians of the past, great prayers of previous centuries or modern day prayers. Today, my inspiration comes from my fridge, a place that I spend far too much time right at the moment. Take a look at these. Every one of those phrases is something that we can grasp hold of if only we think about the gift that we've been given in one more day. Live with intention. In other words, pay attention, because every day there are moments, there are fleeting glimpses of God's presence in creation, in a smile, in a prayer, in somebody reaching out and asking a seemingly innocent question. If we are but living intentionally and paying attention, there is a nudge from God to say, there it is. There's the God moment I'm giving you today. Walk to the edge. When I hear that, I think about walking to the edge of a high building, walking to the edge of a cliff. And maybe you're looking out at the horizon, maybe you're seeing the possibilities, maybe you're imagining what the future might be like, or maybe you need to step out in faith. Maybe it's a moment of decision. Maybe it's a time to take a risk. Because if you're living intentionally, God is there to inspire you, and God will step off that cliff with you, just like Indiana Jones. Listen hard. Sometimes it's just that. Listening to the silence. Listening for the still, small voice of God to speak above the clamour, above all the other voices trying to get our attention, above the earthquake, above the rushing wind, that still, small voice that says, I am here. Sometimes it's listening hard to others, hearing between the words, between what's actually being said, to the heartbeat of the person, what they're feeling, what they're really trying to say. And if we live with intention and listen hard, God will help us hear what we need to hear. Practice wellness. If ever there was a time for that to mean more than it ever did before, it's now. It is important. Be well. Be aware of how you are. Take time to rest. Take time to be kind to yourself. Take time to enjoy the moments, to take a deep breath and feel, and allow yourself to feel. And whether it's good or bad, a good day, a bad day, an up or a down, feel it. Acknowledge it. Learn from it. Be restored. Love these next two. Play with abandon and laugh. I think as adults we forget to play. And sometimes we forget it's okay to laugh, to find joy in even little things. And in this time when there's lots of serious stuff around, I give you permission. Run. Pretend you're 7 years old again. Go for a run. Take up Boris's offer of getting a bike and go for a ride with the wind in your hair, under your cycle helmet, of course. But just remember to enjoy life in the moments, in the midst of the seriousness. Don't forget to play with abandon and laugh. I don't fully agree with every statement on my fridge magnet. And this next one, well, it really depends. It says choose with no regret. And I know what it means. It means we need to commit. We need to decide and we need to go for it. But there are times when we have to acknowledge our choices have got us into trouble. Our choices haven't been the best. And then it's okay to regret. I think it's okay to regret for a moment, so long as we acknowledge it, say sorry to whomever we've hurt or so to ourselves, or acknowledge it wasn't the best choice for our lives, and then that we're going to choose better next time. I remember when my granddaughter was going to school and she just learnt about good choices and bad choices, and she saw a piece of litter on the floor and she said, "Nana, that was a bad choice." There are bad choices, but the important thing is that we learn, we pick up the litter and we don't do it again. Of course, that's what I've just been saying. Continue to learn. What have you learnt during lockdown about yourself, about your family, about how you process long periods of time on your own, about what you value, about what you miss and what you're never going to miss in quite the same way again, because you realise what's important and what isn't. Never stop learning. Appreciate your friends. I think we all do that a little bit more in this. Those that have taken time to give us a ring and find out how we are. Those that we've rung up to show that we're friends, to make sure that people are okay. We appreciate our friends because suddenly we realise that going for that coffee, going for a walk, going out for an evening or a really nice meal was something we took for granted, and now, we do miss it. Make sure you take time to do something to let your friends know that you appreciate them, that maybe you miss them and you're looking forward to seeing them again. This next one, do what you love. You know, I'm in a very privileged position. I've been called to serve God and I love God, and I love being able to serve him, and I love working with people, and there are days and there are weeks and there are tasks when I ask myself, why am I doing this, and why aren't things going the way I think they ought to? Especially if I were God, I wouldn't run the universe this way. But I'd like to add something on to the end of that statement. It says, do what you love, but I'd like to add, or learn to love what you do. We all face tasks that we hate. There are parts of every job that I know that, well, we'd rather do without. I am terrible at administration. But the important thing is to learn to love in the moment, to learn to love what you achieve, to pat yourself on the back when you've done something you really hate and you've done it well. And you can say to God, I hated every moment of it, but I've done it to the best of my ability. Or this person really gets on my nerves, but because of you, I am going to spend time with them, and I am going to spend time with them, making them think they're the most important person to me in this moment. So love what you do, or learn to love in the moment, even if you don't love it all the time. The last one is one of those I'm not altogether sure about. Live as if this is all there is. Well, this isn't all there is. We know that there's an eternity out there. We know that there's heaven to look forward to and life in Jesus' presence, and the streets will be paved with gold, and there'll be sparkling jewels, and there will be worship, and there will be perfection, and we will just be surrounded with peace, and no more tears, no more crying, no more pain, no more death. Oh, there is so much more than this. But at the same time, when it says live as if this is all there is, what it's saying is the whole thing. Live with intention. Live as if this day is a gift. Pay attention so that you see the moments when God's nudging you towards those glimpses of who he is, those sounds that will awaken your spirit, those encounters with people that will remind you of your purpose in him. In other words, don't drift through today. Live with intention. God has a surprise for you somewhere today. Pay attention, and you just might spot it. Jesus put it another way. He put it something like this. John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. Live with intention. The life Jesus gave you is an abundant life, overflowing. Let's live it that way. I did mention 2 fridge magnets. So here's the second. Another way of saying everything I've just said. See you tomorrow. Bye.